Next up, we're going to do the quest Wanted. Oh, and we gained so many levels off of doing Monkey Madness 1 that we are now over 1100 total. It's coming back to me now what quest this is, and all I gotta say is there are like 20,000 unskippable cutscenes. Not even cutscenes necessarily, it's just dialogue that you can't skip. This quest has taken me longer than Monkey Madness 1, and it's only because these NPCs never stop yapping. And this all-powerful wizard that just KO'd everybody decides to now staff bash me. Genuinely, this quest is in contention to be one of the worst ones. But we got it out the way, and we gained 5,000 Slayer EXP from this, so that Slayer EXP is always good. I know all the knights here are Serpents, but I've never noticed this dog. Is this new? How long has this been in the game? Cerberus. We're doing a bit more Slayer. The goal is to try and get our range level up to 40, and then once we get to 40 range, we'll switch over to meleeing and getting attack to 60. Man, early game Slayer is just so unbelievably ass. With that being said, I'm gonna get 40 range at crabs. Oh, and there's 40 range. Unfortunately, we do have to keep doing Slayer, but instead of ranging, I'm gonna go get my melee gear out and try to power through it. We're trying to get 40 Slayer here. I teleported to Edgefield, a bank, and I just made the realization. We can get a rune plate body, and let's go to the Champions Guild and pick up some rune plate legs. Here we are, rune plate legs, and boom! Look at this absolute unit. On my way to Vanica to pick up my next Slayer task. Hopefully he gives me some good. 14 vampires. I don't know if this is the best location, but what I could come up with was the Haunted Woods and these feral vampires, level 61. We are on another Vanica task here. And for this one, we're killing Ice Giant. After another 9 Turiel tasks, we picked up another one from Vanica, and now we're at Ogres. I'm doing Slayer on Wait For It right now as well for the Imbued Heart grind, and I decided to use my scythe on Gargoyles just for fun. It's ridiculously expensive. Not at all worth it, but I mean, look at this though. Back at Vanica, what are we gonna get? 87 crocodiles. There we go. Missed the pop-up, but 40 Slayer. We can move on to some more questing now. We're down here in Morton to start Shades of Morton. And instead of having to run south of Canifis, I was able to just teleport to Barrows, and then it was a short distance over here, so that's convenient. There's Shades of Morton completed. 38 crafting, 26 herb lore. We can now make energy potions. Okay, there is a book, I think. Maybe this diary. I'm gonna assume it's this diary that we can take to the apothecary in Varrock for some bonus herblore EXP. Here we are. I wonder if we can use it on the apothecary. Yes, we can. Now we move on to Hero's Quest. We're at Brimhaven now. This is the part of Hero's Quest where you need someone from the opposite gang to help you out. So I have Peppy, aka Pepperington, although by next week his name will probably be something different again. Okay, he's given us the key. Now we talk to Charlie the cook, do some sneaking around, then we bop Grip, I think, through the window. Now we just have to wait for Grip to be lured in. There you go. He should grab the key and get the candlesticks. And there we go. He gives us a candlestick. Getting the ice gloves from the Ice Queen right now. We're not doing very much damage. Okay, it took a little bit, but there are the ice gloves. Got all the items we need for Hero's Quest. And what are our rewards? 29k EXP spread over 12 skills. I think we get defense EXP out of this too, right? 59 strength, 28 herb lore, 44 smithing. We can now make steel two-handed swords. Oh boy, game changing. 67 combat. Oh, that's it? I was kind of expecting more. Next up on the list is Fremenic Trials. Looks like we need level 40 crafting, so I'm going to go ahead and chisel some gems we got from Wintertod. And there's 40 crafting. That did not take long at all. Only a couple of sapphires. Dude, we got to put our pet rock in here? What the... This part of the quest is really just a Fremenic exclusive of the One Small Favor. And there's Fremenic Trials completed. Little bit of defense EXP from this quest. Puts us at 47, which is still okay. On to Throne of Miscellanea, and I believe the next quest, the follow-up quest, is Royal Troubles, so that we can finally start Kingdom. That's Throne of Miscellanea completed. And there's Royal Trouble completed. We're going to do Bon Voyage next, but first we have to get our kudos up. Oh, I was not paying attention, but we just found a... Well, it says clean necklace now, but it's a ruby necklace that unlocks the dig site pendant. Got pulled into some hard mode tobs here, so I sent 416 here to the crabs, and we just hit 50 hit points. Oh my god, sailing has been released. Classic, I couldn't get the clip, but Bon Voyage completed. Setting up for my first birdhouse run here, and the great thing is, I don't even have to set up my own clockmaker's bench. Also, I don't have to make 10,000 dig site pendants because I have access to this one right here. While we wait to do our first birdhouse run, we are going to do the giant dwarf so that we gain access to the blast furnace in Celtigrim. Paying a visit to our boy Thurgo again with another red berry pie. Oh, this is the part where we have to hand in like a random assortment of ores or bars. Let's see, I think the first one was silver bars. Wait, it doesn't tell me. I can ask him again, right? 4 silver ore. We can do that. Oh, is this new? We have the option of skipping the cutscene. Nice. Quest completed. A little bit of mining, smithing, crafting, magic, thieving, and fire making EXP. This is going to make farming so much easier. So I did pull a dupe bottomless compost bucket on wait for it at one point in time, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and hand it over to 416 Hero. Early game farming always sucks because you have to juggle all the buckets and whatnot, but not if we already have a bottomless compost bucket to begin with. We're still waiting on the birdhouses right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and do some crafting while we wait. Crafting levels are always going to be good to have. This is something I should have done before doing the giant dwarf, and that's to plant these barley seeds because we're going to need some barley malt for the following quest that we're going to do, and that's a forgettable tale of a drunken dwarf. Okay, birdhouses are finally ready. We go from 9 to 10 off of one birdhouse. 10 to 12 off of the second birdhouse. And level 14 off of the last one. So we're able to do oak birdhouses now. While we wait for the barley to finish growing, we're going to do Tears of Guthix. There we go. Tears of Guthix completed. 1k crafting XP. And of course, we're going to do the actual Tears of Guthix minigame right away. And we go from 9 to 14 rune crafting. Perfect, because I think at level 10, or we needed level 10 to be able to do Guardians of the Rift. We are getting started on the Forgettable Tale right now, and after this quest, we're also going to do the Garden of Tranquility. Both of these quests have a lot of downtime when you're just doing nothing but waiting for stuff to grow. So this is the perfect time. Remember when we mined 2,300 iron ore and smelted them into bars? We're going to turn those into iron dart tips. Just set up the vat, and now there's more waiting. So we're going to do some herb lore at the bank. After what feels like an eternity, we finally finished Forgettable Tale. I was on my way to pick up some more items for Garden of Tranquility, and we just got a new clog, a new hat. Just hit 38 Herblore. This is a big one because we can now make prayer potions. Imagine if this quest actually made you push it all the way from Lumbridge to Varrock Castle. Garden of Tranquility completed. 5,000 farming EXP. That will put us at 30. Staying on top of our birdhouse runs now, and we just hit level 20 hunter. Before we know it, we're going to move on from oaks to willows. We're currently in the middle of doing the Eyes of Gluffrey quest. Down the line, we're definitely going to do the next quest, the Path of Gluffrey, so that we can get our hands on a warp scepter. This stupid machine took me way too long, I'm not going to lie. I just couldn't get the right shapes. And that's the Eyes of Gluffrey completed. 57 magic, 25 rune crafting. Moving on to the Tower of Life quest now, and for some reason in this quest, they just have to drag it out. Like, look at this. We're pulling out one item, and it's taking 5 to 10 seconds to pull it out. And there's Tower of Life completed. We're up to 151 quest points now. And before we get out of here, which one of these altars is for the raw chicken and the swordfish? Looks like it's the southwest one. And for the diary task. There we go. Another birdhouse run, and that actually put us at 1,200 total. I was in a little bit of a lull, but I figured out what to do next. We're gonna do Temple of the Eye to get some rune crafting EXP, so that we can get to do What Lies Below, which I believe is a prerequisite for Defender of Varrock. Oh, and to further that train of thought, we want to do Defender of Varrock because it gives us smithing EXP. We're going to need 70 for Song of the Elves. There's Temple of the Eye completed, Guardians of the Rift unlocked. Sticking with the Defender of Varrock questline, we're going to be doing Below Ice Mountain. This should be a quick quest. Not sure how many frog tokens we need, but I'm going to go ahead and do this random and get another one. Below Ice Mountain finished. So I'm getting started with farm runs now, and obviously the birdhouse runs as well. It honestly feels like we are now in a different era. Of course, we're still questing, but now we got to keep up with these. They're not quite dailies, but just general upkeep, right? Farming to get our levels up. Herb lore. We have moved on up from oak birdhouses to willow. Starting on Temple of the Ikov. This is also part of the Defender of Varrock questline, but it's also important in general. So you're supposed to use ice arrows on this guy, but if you just have them in your ammo slot and you use something like knives or darts, you can actually cheese this. Once again missed the clip, but that's Temple of Ikov completed. That put us at 42 range, which is for Void. We're only 76 EXP away from 43, actually. We took a little break to get 60 attack, which should come up in the next hit. There we go, 60 attack, 69 combat, nice. We're currently waiting on some willow trees to finish growing so that we can do Enlightened Journey. In the meantime, we're going to try to get level 50 construction through Mahogany Homes. 14 contracts in, working on our 15th, and this is the first time we have to teleport to Varrock. Anyways, here's 50 construction. Finished with construction, now let's grab our willow branches. Now that we have our willow branches, we can continue and finish the Enlightened Journey. Enlightened Journey completed. Most important thing out of this is this sick bomber outfit. You could probably work out that from all the questing that we've been doing, we're working towards RFD and Barrows gloves. So we just got a couple more quests to do, and we're actually pretty close now. Big chompy bird hunting completed. Another birdhouse run, and we just hit level 30. Rag and Bone Man 1 completed. Dang it, I missed it again. I closed the pop-up. But 60 magic, that's big because I think that's the requirement for Mage Arena 1. Family crest completed. We can now go and grab the Goldsmith gauntlets. Working on Death Plateau right now, and it's yet another quest involving giving somebody alcohol. Death Plateau completed. That's Troll Stronghold completed. Riding the carpet on my way to start Desert Treasure 1. This is going to be a big quest. Obviously, it's the last quest before RFD, but also this will unlock the Ancient Spellbook. Fighting the first boss for Desert Treasure 1 right now, nice and easy because of the ice gloves and using Water Blast. Alright, how many lockpicks will it take for us to open this chest? We're on number 2 right now. Nope. Number 3. Nope. We did it. We got it. Let me hit the bank and find out how many lockpicks that took me. So originally we had 50 lockpicks, and now we have 17 remaining. So that means we used 33 lockpicks for the chest. That's honestly not too bad. I'm not gonna lie, this took me several trips. I died a couple of times. I just couldn't get a safe spot to work. Alright, we finally got the diamond. Let's get out of here. Here's the third boss we have to fight. That is not my Ivan staff. Whoops. So for this one, I think you can cheese it by just flicking range and melee prey because it'll switch depending on which overhead you have on, right? But if you keep switching, it confuses it. And you're kind of just flinching it in a way. Everything about this last boss is just made to annoy you. Like the amount of effort it takes to get here, and then like this guy constantly freezing you when you're just trying to get close. And then after you defeat the boss, it still makes you walk all the way around to get up this mountain. Got all 4 of the diamonds. We just gotta place 1 in each corner of this pyramid. Running through the pyramid took a few tries, but we finally made it. Desert Treasure 1 complete. 3 quest points, 20,000 magic EXP, and the biggest thing of all, ability to use ancient magics. And the best thing is, for us, we don't have to run all the way here to use this. Or not the lectern, but the altar to spellbook swap. We can just teleport to our POH. After completing Desert Treasure 1, we now have finished all the prerequisite quests for RFD. We just need a few more quest points from outside the quest line though, so after that we'll be able to complete Recipe for Disaster and get Barrows gloves. We're going to do the quest Regicide here, and I want to say that this quest will give us enough points to complete RFD. Staying on top of our farm runs, we just hit level 40 farming. Just hit 34 hunter, which means teak bird houses. Good thing I brought both logs with me, I wasn't sure. Okay, this quest took a fair bit, but Regicide is completed, 3 quest points. Not only that, but we now have access to Zulrah, although I don't think I'm quite ready for that yet. We still have the RFD subquest to do, but I'm thinking ahead for the boss fights, and I want to get a Mage Arena 1 cape, I think. It is a Friday right now, but it's only Mage Arena 1, and we're in combat here anyways. It should be fine. Alright, nice and easy. We just got the Mage Arena 1 caves. Just one more quest before RFD, and that's Hand in the Sand. We're gonna need this 1 quest point. Once again, use beer on an NPC. Don't mind me, just casually have a wizard's head in my backpack. And that's Hand in the Sand completed. Now, we can start the RFD subquest. Completed the General Goblin section. We did Evil Dave earlier, so that's 2 done already. Mountain Dwarf subquest completed. Okay, I was not expecting a clog while I was down here, but fresh crab shell, okay. Pirate Pete's portion finished. I was in the middle of doing the Monkey Ambassador subquest, and I realized I needed 70 cooking. So here I am, cooking away 60, and we need another 10 levels. While we're cooking away on 416 Hero, I'm on Wait For It, humidifying jugs to create jugs of water, so that we can later make wines for faster EXP. I've been sitting at 60 cooking here, but I've been making the wines and I just haven't let the EXP drop yet. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to let the EXP drop because I have to go do a birdhouse run. So let's just do this last inventory and let's see how big of an EXP drop we're about to get here. A casual 364k. We went from 60 to 68, so 2 more levels to go until we can finish out the RFD subquest. I plugged my current EXP to a skill calculator and was able to figure out how many more wines I needed. So 400 wines later, give or take this inventory, we are about to be... Wow, I was hoping I'd time this better. But we're about to be 70 cooking. Oh! You know... 577 EXP short. Okay, one moment. That is awkward. I thought wines would stop failing or going bad at 68, but I don't know, maybe I was wrong. Anyways, now here's 70 cooking. I'm definitely going to grab more than one snake corpse just in case, because it would be very unfortunate for it to burn and then for us to have to go all the way back out here and then back. No issues there. Cooked it on the first one. So here's the stuffed snake. There we go. Another one down. And that's another one done. 173 quest points. Only 2 to go. Another one down, and just one more to go. And that's the last subquest. Alright, let's get geared up for the fights. Ooh, that was very close, actually. The floor in here is so hard on the eyes. I don't remember it being like this. Yeah, the first one was cooking me, but this one, nice and simple. Nice and easy. This guy's hitting 17s on me. That kind of hurts. We're doing lots of damage, though, so this is good. And there we go. Alright, for this next one, I think we're going to need a little bit more magic defense. Oh. Can we get it within this phase? Yes, there we go. Time for the final boss himself. There it is. Recipe for disaster completed. Barrows gloves. Wow. Honestly, all things considered, that did not feel like it took too long. Here we go. How much do these bad boys cost? 130k? Not bad at all. The obvious Iron Man goal these days is to get to Song of the Elves for the Corrupted Gauntlet. But Recipe for Disaster and Barrows Gloves will always be important and remains iconic. It's definitely one of the key stepping stones for any account. Now that we have it, as for what's next, we are going to work towards Royal Titans and the Prayer Scrolls, which will actually be our best in slot as a 50 defense account. Following that, we'll make our way to Song of the Elves and the Corrupted Gauntlet. And plot twist, we're probably going to get the blade first.